Hi guys, just a quick look at my antenna setup and my switching setup. Okay, so I've got the three-way antenna switch there, half decent quality one. I believe it's made by Watson. Well, it's probably not made by Watson, it's got the Watson brand on it. Probably about £55, so not the cheapest. There's not too many more expensive than that, so it's a fairly good quality one. So you've got that. So you've got the dummy load in the centre there, which is a Watson dummy load. You're looking about 100 to 200 watts. I think it's about, there's a few different settings, ratings on it, but I think the max is about 150, 200 for a short period with a long off period, and the average is about 80 watts, I think, something like that, more than my radios could do for testing purposes. The top there, you've got a disc cone with no top on it, just a standard disc cone. And the bottom there, number 3, you've got a homemade inverted V dipole made out of copper air conditioning pipe. I made it myself, tuned it, and in front of that we've got a one-to-one balun I made out of a ferrite core. Okay, so you've got the three-way switch there, and I'm just going to pause it as we go down the cupboard. Obviously it goes down the wall there. Okay guys, we've got another switch by the same manufacturer or same brand, Watson there. These are about £75, so again, it's a four-way switch, not the cheapest, there's not many more expensive than this. I'm trying to get a good shot so you can see it's four-way there. Okay, so four-way, 4 antennas. There's that mini 8 coax in the left-hand side there. And what we've got is antenna 1. Which goes to the radio, whatever sort of old-fashioned CB radio. This is actually a new one, but I'm running. I'll just do a little test. I'll put the dummy load on this now. So I'll put the dummy load on it. We'll have a look at the SWR. Okay, I'll have a look at the SWR. Just turn another radio off. Okay, here we go. So the SWR now. So this is 1 to 1.2. One of my radios has just come close call there, so we'll just turn that down. Although it's into a dummy load, it will still pick up the RF. Okay, so we've got 1 to, what did it say? 1 to 1.2, but that is obviously running very little power. I think we're less than, how many watts are we on there? We're on about 1.5 watts there. So let's do a little bit more power. Let's get up to about 10 watts. There you go, so 1 to 1.4, not bad at all. And the SWR there, quite low. And finally, let's get to the maximum, which is about 35 watts. This is into the dummy load, so the SWRs should be sorry, this isn't into the dummy load, actually. This is into the antenna here. Sorry, this is into my inverted V antenna. That's why the SWR is high. Not high, that's why it's got some SWR. So yeah, that's not bad, actually. So this is the inverted V antenna. Like I said, I tuned this. And then 1 to 1.5 is the about 35 watts, 1 to 1.5 on 27205, which is quite good there. It's actually quite a good SWR for something I built myself, and it's the first antenna I built, so it's not too well, it's not the first one. I had a few trial runs, but it's the first one I built out of a solid material, copper. Okay, so that's the and I'll just show you the dummy load as well while we're here. Right, we're now on the dummy load. Okay, so we'll turn the power all the way up again. This is the dummy load, and we're getting a 1-to-1 SWR, as you would expect, and about 40 watts there going actually out of the radio with a 1-to-1 SWR, which is what you'd expect into a dummy load, which is great. Okay, so that's that. So that's the first radio I've got there onto that, which is number 1. Let's go and switch it onto the UHF antenna. So onto the UHF antenna, which I've labelled up so I know which one it is, but I remember that the the top one there is is it? Yeah, it is. That's the UHF antenna. Okay, which is the disc cone. Yeah. Okay. Now the second radio there on the switch is this one. We should just press scan there. We should be able to pick something up quite quick. Yeah, got some traffic wardens or something there. Obviously no audio. So that's the second one I've got there. That's radio number 2. I'll just switch that off because obviously nothing's going to be on. And then radio number 3 is the icon. Which, as you can see, radio number 3 is radio number 3 is the third antenna number 1 in this radio, which I've actually gone over to 4 for antenna number 2. Which what I can't remember. Oh, we're on the. There you go. So this is antenna number. Sorry about the shine there. This is number 2, antenna number 2, and then if we go to like this frequency in the UHF VHF range, antenna number 3 is actually is that. There we go. Is actually the antenna number 1, which is UHF, VHF, anything over 30 megahertz. Now I've set this all up. This is the whole reason I've set this all up. Is because this radio, if you remember, if you watch any of my videos, has actually got a small fault on one of the relays, which I actually know which relay it is, but don't possess the sort of expertise to change that relay. It's a very small relay, like a micro relay. So, and obviously it's quite an expensive radio, so I don't want to risk damaging it. And intentionally, this radio isn't actually meant for antenna 1. It should only go up to 30 megahertz. Sorry, antenna 2 should only go up to 30 megahertz, where antenna antenna 2 only goes up to 30 megahertz, and antenna 3 should go from anything you want, but won't. Anything over 30 megahertz will automatically select antenna 1, which is something to do with that relay, and I believe it was getting stuck, so it's still getting stuck. So I've decided to use it the way you should use it, and I'm manually switching my antennas, which, to be honest, I actually prefer manually switching antennas because I know which one I'm using, and I can also choose between 2 antennas. It's also got a third antenna, which is a long wire loop, which I've built. But that doesn't work too well, so I use the main 2 antennas. So now I can use any of these 3 radios on any of the antennas, the 2 antennas, and I've screwed the switches all down and secured all the coax. So it's actually quite nice to just sit back and choose an antenna that sort of works for you, for me. Okay guys, quick on there, bit of a ramble, but okay, thanks for watching.